Hello, my dear friends. Today we're going to talk about GED Science Test, how to pass it, and what resources to use for preparation, and some key points you need to know before taking the test and even before starting your preparations. Well, let's say that biology, chemistry, physics, space, and earth science are not your favorite subjects. What do you do in that case? Well, good news, you don't need to learn or study deeply any of these subjects to actually pass the test. You already know all fundamentals to pass the test. If not, well, don't worry, you can learn them very quickly. And one thing that is left to do is to practice. Don't know whether you noticed it or not, but I'm green today, except for the background. Well, that's obvious. First thing you need to do before starting your preparations is go into GED.com website and gain some information from there. This is basically your ultimate guide to the GED test. First thing you see when you open the science window on the GED.com is 4 key points of the test, which is time, 90 minutes. Test consists only of one part. It has 3 topics, and of course the price. The price depends from region to region. You can check it for yourself, and I'm sure that if you are a US citizen, it will cost you much lesser than for international students who are taking the test outside of the US. I am an international student and I took the test in Vietnam, and for me, for one subject, it was $80. But you really need to check for your region, it really differs a lot. Also on this website, you can find a practice test and intro into the GED Science Test, where they actually give you valuable information on how to prepare for the test, what kind of topics you need to learn, and some actually short breakdowns for each of the topic. And one more important thing, that you don't need to memorize anything. It's a huge disclaimer for all test takers, because well, come on, you don't need to be like professor of science or physics or anything, or know deeply how the DNA works or how many chromosomes is on the human body, 48. We will talk about the skills that you need to improve for the test a bit later. But now, study guides. Well, first thing to check is the metric study guide for the science. If you're an international student for whom English is not the first language, I highly recommend you to start with this guide, because it will show you all the basic topics that they study at the USA schools. It may be different in your country. And also the language. You need to know some basic words to pass the test, because if you have zero understanding of some physical or chemistry terms, you probably wouldn't be able to pass the test. But you don't need to focus solely on all of these words, because there will be a lot of them. If you know what words like raining, snowing, and photosynthesis mean, you're good to go. Well, maybe some more words, but not so hard like this one. And alert, despite there is a lot of useful information in this memetrics video, there is a lot of also extra information, and you do not need to memorize it. Yes, it may be useful to write it down, to kind of make a small research on what is DNA or photosynthesis or something like this, but no more than this. If you don't understand this difference between mitosis and meiosis, that's not a huge problem for passing the GED test. It's not a memorization test, and they won't require you to do that. But if you really didn't get something and you want to learn deeply about that, well, I recommend you some channels for that. First one is Amoeba Sisters. I believe that it's right pronounced. It's like deep learning in a lot of biology processes and terms. Very funny, very amused. You can get a lot of stuff from there. The next one is Crash Course, especially in terms of physics and biology. They will explain you with very simple terms, very basic concepts of sciences, natural sciences or nature sciences. And the last one is Kurzgesagt. I'm not sure about the pronunciation again. I believe it's a German word. This is like popular science channel. They have a lot of different stuff on a lot of different topics. And for example, their videos for DNA structures and how some viruses actually affect our organisms and some stuff like that, they explain it very well with a lot of graphical images and pictures. We slowly come to the next part of this video, which is preparation. And again, I will just recommend you some channels where you can find a lot of preparation tests. You can also go on Google or just internet and check out some different sources, but again, be very, very careful, because a lot of them will require you to ask on questions like, what is the name of this process, which won't be required for you to answer on the actual GED test. Just a small reminder that this is a test where you have 4 answer options in the majority of questions. So back to the channels. Test Prep Champions, GED Some Math, which is the most accurate with the questions and the format, and Ultimate Algebra. Check out all of them and pick one that is more useful for you. I believe that you will find something. I want to make a side note. While you are preparing and learning some stuff about physics, biology, chemistry, etc., you need to focus on some topics which mostly are DNA, food chain separations, and chromosomes. Please check this out really carefully because a lot of questions are based on those 3 topics. In the last part of this video, I want to make kind of note that what would I do if I just started my preparations? What kind of skills would I improve? And the first one is skimming through the text and making key points. They will require you to read a lot of different things, compare texts, make some conclusions from the text, especially in the questions about experiments. So you really need to kind of improve your reading skills and pointing out key moments. Along with these skills, you need to learn how to track the chronology of actions and events that are happening in the text. You also need to get the general understanding of designing the experiments. I believe that all of the skills that I put in here are actually bonded with each other because the next one is you need to learn how to interpret the information, and this is also important for experiment questions. The last thing that would assist you is the skill of understanding the graphics. There will be some numbers, there will be some tables, and you need to know how to actually use all of this data. It's not that hard. You can improve the skills even if you don't have it right now. It's okay, you don't need to be worried. I genuinely believe that passing the GED Science Test is actually much easier than it might seem. Because there is a lot of information, probably a lot of new information and kind of scary questions, scary words, especially if you are not a big lover of all of these natural sciences, it may affect your mental health during the preparation. And trust me, nobody wants it to happen, so if you don't get something, just give it a time. A lot of people have gone through this, and you can too. I already made similar breakdowns for the GED Math and Social Studies. You can check them out. All links are in the description. Links for all of the channels that I mentioned today are all in the description. I will make reasoning through language arts the breakdown in the meantime. So don't miss it out and subscribe to my channel. Tap the like below. If you have some questions, you can go into the comment section and ask me directly. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that it helped. Remember that yes, preparation can suck out your soul, but this is only you who can opt out not to do that. And I believe that you can. So have a great day and see you in the next video. Goodbye.